Over-the-counter Arizona tax lien certificate. Welcome back. Many of my viewers refer to this as the wealth without risk destination. I'm Ted Thomas, and this is the last video in our mini-series about Arizona tax lien certificates. I plan to cover the over-the-counter tax lien certificates. This is a hidden side of the tax lien certificate investing business. It's hidden until you find out about it. Once you do, you'll want to get involved. These are tax lien certificates that did not sell at the public auction and are often overlooked as an investment. There's a lot of little inside secrets, but the big deal really is just learn about them and you'll see there's a ton of opportunity. This is a hidden market, is certainly talked about. However, only a few beginners or newcomers participate because they don't understand the opportunity. And that's what I'm about to explain. It does require due diligence. That means you're going to have to do some research. Now, according to the Maricopa County Treasurer's Office, the last public tax lien certificate auction, they posted over 16,000 tax lien certificates. However, over 6,000 of those certificates did not get purchased and they were placed on the over-the-counter list. Those certificates are all still available. These are county-held tax lien certificates. This list is posted annually within all 15 counties in the state of Arizona. Now, from my experience, everyone will give you advice about tax lien certificates and tax deed property auctions, including auctions and the difference between tax deeds and tax liens. Now, some of those giving you advice are young, some of them are old, a lot of them are relatives. Even people who don't like you will give you advice about tax lien certificates and tax deeds. What is important is realizing that most of these people are not qualified to help you because they've not studied and they really don't know what they're talking about when they talk about tax liens or tax deeds. So it's important that you understand they probably can't help you. Now, what do I mean by all that? Well, they just don't have any expertise and they're not intentionally giving you bad advice, but it really works out to be that way. In this business, there's plenty of opportunities and you don't need a license from the governor of your state. You can make money doing this business without going to weeks and weeks of school. What you do need is a coach or a mentor to accelerate your success. I suggest you think about that. Now, over-the-counter is a slang term that in the past has become commonplace. I'm going to give you a competitive advantage in the next few minutes. But first, understand, tax lien certificates and tax defaulted property auctions are a business of abundance. I mean, there's plenty for everyone. When I say that, I mean there's over 5,000 tax defaulted auctions that are scheduled every single year. That includes tax lien certificate auctions and tax defaulted auctions, which are both public auctions. If you have a family to provide for, you want to find out as much as possible about over-the-counter tax lien certificates. I can assure you this will be valuable information. Local counties will auction at public auctions online and offline. The auctions usually take place on the county courthouse steps, and sometimes they're online. Now, there's millions of tax lien certificates available nationwide. The auctions are always open to the public. Now, many of these auctions are poorly attended. That means there's a lack of attendees and bidders. That also means, and translates to, many of the certificates are not sold at auction. So what are they going to do? Well, to put it simply, I'm explaining that the county treasurer is obligated to sell these tax lien certificates, and they need your help. So the county, who needs money to pay the police department, the fire department, the schools, and the school teachers, is going to continue to auction or at least try to sell the certificates. Tax lien certificates that are unsold at the public auction are then moved to a different list. Now, that list is available at the county treasurer's physical office. Now, savvy investors go to that office, review the list, and then research. And after they've done their research, they purchase over the counter and there's no bidding. That simply means you can earn the highest interest without bidding the certificate up or down. So over the counter is nothing more than a big desk like I'm sitting at right now in the treasurer's office. All right, so you can go there and you can find a certificate number and you can bid on that certificate and not have to pay a premium. The educated buyer who wants to buy a tax lien certificate only needs to choose the certificate and have the money to bid on that certificate. The purchase may be made online or offline, directly from the treasurer, and directly from that list. What is the big benefit? What's the big competitive advantage? There's no bidders in line that are going to bid the interest rate down, and that means you can buy that certificate and earn the highest rate. So keep in mind, over the counter, you bid the highest rate. For example, in Maricopa County, you could earn 16%. That's a lot of money. Now here's your big benefit. No bidding necessary, just pay for the tax lien certificate and you're finished. There is no competitive bidding when you purchase online. You're the only bidder standing in the counter, so you can receive the full benefit of the state law. That means research is important. Once you observe the list and know the tax number of the property, you can do your research online. I always recommend boots on the ground to look at the property, not only the condition, but you also want to look at the neighborhood. My instruction would always include walk on the property, boots on the ground, and understand the neighborhood. Because if you end up with a tax lien certificate, in other words, the owner does not come forward and redeem, you'll already know the condition of the neighborhood and the property. If you purchase a tax lien and the owner fails to come forward, you will own the property after the foreclosure process. What are you going to do with that property? Well, of course, my instruction would be you'd want to sell it. If the property has value, if you did your homework, you can probably make big money, especially buying over the counter. Thousands of tax lien certificates on single-family homes are sold in Maricopa County. Hundreds of vacant buildable lots will end up on the over-the-counter list. You will also find open land, which could be used for grazing or farmland. Experienced attorneys and other professionals should be employed as your advisors to explain if there's any other further risk. I'm Ted Thomas. I'm not an attorney at law. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a real estate broker. Experienced professionals should be consulted during your due diligence phase. In closing, a tax lien certificate is a piece of paper that allows you, it gives you the right. You are now the holder of a tax lien certificate, and you can earn a generous, sometimes an outrageous interest rate. The document does not allow you as the holder any rights to go on the property or to charge rent or in any way bother or disturb the property owner. The property owner remains on the property until such time as the right of redemption expires.